Welcome back to Cox Connections, exclusively on Cox 9 Roanoke. I'm Kim Stanley. When you think of the Salvation Army, the red kettle and the bell ringers come to mind, but the Corps is so much more. Captain Ken Argott is here to tell us more about the 10 ways the Salvation Army is doing the most good in Roanoke. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate your offer.
Absolutely. Well, the Salvation Army does so many wonderful things, just a lot of great programs, but there's one in particular I wanted you to tell us about, the Red Shield Lodge.
The Red Shield Lodge is our homeless men's shelter. Salvation Army's been in Roanoke since 1885, and sheltering is probably one of the first things we started to do here in this community. So the Red Shield Lodge has been around for a while. The Red Shield Lodge is specifically a program, not necessarily just a transitional shelter. It's a place where people come in, they're ready to work. They have to do 20 hours of community service. They have to have meetings with their support people in the community. And it's really a focus on taking them from homelessness to independence. After they complete the emergency shelter period, which is about 90 days, they could possibly even move into our transitional housing program, which is upstairs in the lodge, which they can stay up to 2 years.
Okay, continuing to work and...
Continue to work, yeah. And one of the things that we're looking that's hopefully new for this year is that getting men to come in and kind of mentor some of the other men that are in the facility, maybe retired electricians or carpenters, who can teach the guys some skills that they can use out in the marketplace.
Okay. And then the Turning Point's another program that you...
Turning Point is the domestic violence program. It's the only domestic violence shelter here in the Roanoke area. And it's very secure, confidential. If anybody is in an abusive situation, they can call our hotline at 540-345-0400.
Okay.
Grant funding has been cut on that a little bit. It's been very tough. Donations are flat. So we need the help more than ever to continue to raise money in that area. But again, the focus on those who are abused. 1 in 4 women in this nation have experienced some type of abuse. I have 3 daughters, so it just kind of triggers in my own mind, what are the chances that my daughters get involved in an abusive relationship? It really just makes your heart cry out. There's been 3 homicides due to domestic abuse here in 2011. So the need is really there, which is why our shelter is open 24/7.
Okay, so not only they can call, they can just show up and get help.
Yeah, they can show up. The call is better so that we're prepared for them. Sometimes they can even get a police escort to make sure that they're safe and secure.
Okay, great. Well, in addition to that, you do a lot to help families in crisis. What are some of the ways that the Salvation, and I know during this tough economic time, you're probably being called on more than ever.
Sure. One of the things we're finding is that people who used to donate are now coming to see us for assistance, and so it's very tough. But over 1,700 people came through our doors to receive some type of assistance through electric, utilities, rent. Number of ways that we can help. There's the Heat Share program with Roanoke Gas for gas bills. There's a Neighbor to Neighbor, which is Appalachian Power, helps us out with some of the electric bills. Project Warm actually provides wood for people who have wood stoves or heat their house with wood. In addition, we receive funds through United Way and then our own private donations to the Salvation Army to make sure that we can prevent homelessness for these people. Sometimes it's just one bill, and it's just amazing how just that 1 month of reprieve for a family can kind of get them back to where they need to be.
Right. And I'm sure you need volunteers. I mean, not just during the holiday season, but you need volunteers all year round.
Absolutely. Even with our community center, we were unable to open our after-school program due to some financial needs, but we're looking to see how we can use volunteers to staff a drop-in center for our youth, maybe some after-school training for the kids. Our seniors are always looking for people to help them out and provide some things that they can do together. There's just a lot of opportunities for volunteers to get involved. Again, call our office at 343-5335, and our volunteer coordinator would be glad to put you to work.
That's great. That's just phenomenal. So in addition to your programs, helping families in crisis, I believe you also help out during disasters as well.
Disaster service, our mobile feeding unit is ready to go at any time. We actually came down to the Patrick Henry not too long ago when they thought there was going to be a large fire At the same time, it served in Tidewater during Hurricane Irene. It's been deployed numerous times for disaster throughout the area.
Wow, so just a lot going on. How would volunteers get more involved? I mean, you said call, or I mean,
if you call us, we can kind of have a conversation and kind of handpick what's best for you. Because the Salvation Army does so many things and is so widespread, there's no just one niche that we do. Most likely, if you have something that is really on your heart, whether it's kids or seniors, I was just looking at 11,000 people were visited in nursing homes over the past year by Salvation Army volunteers, and so there's just numerous things that people can get involved in. Let's have the conversation.
Sounds like everything, anything you could possibly desire, you could get involved in to
That's
help
correct.
out. That's just phenomenal. I think people forget that the Salvation Army does so many things beyond just ringing the bell during the holidays. I mean,
Absolutely.
you truly touch so many people in so many ways all year round.
Sure. In the summer, we have our camp for kids. It's 215 acres in Richardsville, Virginia, out in the sticks in the woods. And last year we took 40 kids from Roanoke there. We also take seniors. We also take men from our lodge and women from our shelters, kind of give them a different perspective for a weekend. Again, all throughout the year, we're looking at ways that we can help people better their life and move them to a new position.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm sure in addition to volunteers, you know, monetary donations as well.
Monetary donations are always welcome,
Right.
and especially during the Christmas season. Our kettle goal, $215,000, and that amount has to last us through the entire year until we can come back to the public again next November and start raising that money. So it's often very difficult, but the community has been very generous here, and we're just very thankful.
Wow. Well, we're thankful for your organization as well. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Still to come, Cox is one of the leaders when it comes to environmentally friendly initiatives. After the break, we will talk more about Cox Conserves.